and welcome back to rFactor, and today we have one of the first F1 2015 releases mods. Today this one is by Patrick34 and it is version 0.01. So there's not much yet, but they have a working McLaren. Just like last year, I remember Patrick34 had a very early 2014 mod that also had the McLaren, because the McLaren model is available. The McLaren have made their own model on the website, and I think people have their ways of nicking it. So there are ways to make it available in rFactor, so people have done so. And Patrick34, who had a full 2014 mod that I never actually tried. I always thought about trying, but I never actually got around to it, because, I mean, 2014, we had so many mods last year. There was just oodles and oodles of mods, and I never actually got around to it, unfortunately. But since he has a 2015 version out now, and there are, I think there's one or two out already. I've not seen many, but this is, I think, the one that I've probably seen more of than the others at the moment. So I thought I'd give it a go, and from what I read in the notes, it is the 2014 physics and sounds. So, I mean, that's not surprising, to be fair. I mean, it would be a bit harsh to expect to have a perfect, fully finished mod by now. Like I said, this is version 0.01, and today we are at Jerez to do a bit of driving, and the McLaren, I think, personally, looks really good. I know a lot of people are complaining about the livery, but on track, I think the McLaren looks amazing. And, of course, I presume he has actually made Button's new helmet and Alonso, so actually, you know, he's had to do a bit of work, to be fair. Although, as you can see, more proof that it is the model off the website. You can see Alonso on the side there and Button on this side. So, but never mind, because, I mean, the hardest part is probably the physics and getting that right. So let's head out to track. Now, like I said, the physics are 2014, but I would think this year and last year's cars, they're pretty similar. So we'll see how it is, and well, to be honest, I don't know Jerez awfully well. I've never had an incentive to drive it, and since it's not been a race weekend on the official calendar for quite a few years, I've never had a game that it's in. So, like, you know, when you're a child, you play like all these old F1 games, and that's how you learn the circuits. But Jerez is one of those that's just not used anymore, although it is for testing, of course. But that's something else. So I have done a few laps prior to this to get used to the car, get used to the track, mainly the track, really, to be honest, because I don't know where I'm going to begin with, and also find out where the track is dangerous. And if you touch a gravel trap, even if you touch it about 50 meters away from the wall, you are going to hit said wall. Because in that gravel, once you're in it, you're not getting out of it. But anyway, so let's head on to talking about the car. Now, like I said, it is 2014 physics, but it's a lot of fun, I can tell you. We head into the final corner. On to start finish. It's a bit tail happy in the lower gears, as it should be. Although I'm getting quite a lot of mass oversteer in high-speed corners, which is quite terrifying, to be honest, but a lot of fun. There's also a lot of understeer at low speed, which, again, I think that is how the cars actually are these days. They've tried to lower the downforce since, well, I mean, 2013 was the last year of mass downforce, and we tried to stop it in 2014, but the cars are still very grippy. And so you can definitely feel the difference in this between a 2013 car and the 2014-2015 cars, because they just have so much less grip. But they're still grippy beasts. This corner is almost flat. I think it is flat on some runs I've done. But if you get it ever so slightly wrong, you're into the wall, and you'll have had a very big crash, as I've had many of while preparing for this. I'm going through this horrible tight chicane. It's just horrible. It's too slow and it's too tight. But I believe that is the layout that they do use for testing. And of course testing has concluded at Jerez. Next up we have, I think, 2 at Barcelona.
Right, that was a 1:27.16.
We're running a little bit wide there, but not a problem. So McLaren did not have the best of pre-season tests at Jerez. I mean, I think I've done more laps today than McLaren did all of the 4 days there, so that says a lot. But like I said, the car, I think, looks fantastic on track. I know a lot of people are complaining, and that they really wanted a red and white livery, a la, but I still think this livery just looks great, and we don't want to go in that gravel trap at all, because that is death. That is just instant death. But the car is a lot of fun to drive. I would assume it will be mostly the same once the physics are done, because like I said, there's not a huge difference between this year's and last year's cars. But I think the main thing as well is waiting for the talent patches.
All right,
because who knows what the pecking order is at the moment, teams-wise, because we have no idea where McLaren is. Ferrari are just, who knows, because they've been doing the fastest times at Jerez, and we don't know if they've been pushing or not. Mercedes are just damn reliable. They're ridiculously reliable, which is what, to be honest, all they needed to do after last year. Sort out the reliability, and then they might even just totally dominate this year, but hopefully not. And hopefully McLaren can do something. A lot of curb that time. You really need to grab the apexes in this, otherwise the understeer just picks you up and just takes you away into the gravel trap, and then you're gone. You're gone into the wall. And when you start sliding with oversteer, it's fairly easy to catch, I'd say. The only times I've gone into the wall is when it's been at real high speed, and once you lose it at high speed, it's gone. No matter how easy it is to catch most of the time. Some things are not meant to be caught.
Alright, that was a 1:26.68.
That lap was not too bad. That's, I think, 3/10 off my personal best here. Although my personal best is nothing to be proud of, to be honest, probably. Considering I've not done that many laps in this car track combination. I mean, just them separately I've not done that much, but together it's even less. Now I plan to follow this mod, a bit like some of the other mods last year. I mean, I followed the WCP mod quite intently, and I plan to do the same for a couple of mods this year, see how they progress. Since I've caught this at a very early phase, I can watch it through development, which is quite a fun process. See how it gets better, and I expect this mod to be quite good as we get off the curb, and that is not what you want to do. Fortunately we were very close to the gravel, but not quite in the gravel, and once again we run a bit wide. We don't want to touch that gravel. That gravel is deadly. Now I think I may check one or two other early mods. Of course, the big mods like WCP get released much later in the season, so we have to wait quite a while for those. They are typically the better ones, but that's mainly probably because they're more of a team rather than just a one-man job. So I mean, massive credit to these guys who are just making these mods on their own, because it's not an easy task. But this mod is already, I think, shaping up to be quite good. They've got the core, the basis good at the moment. Because like I said, these physics are good fun, and there's some more oversteer. It's excellent fun. It feels nice to drive, and they can only build upon that. So it has the potential to be a good mod. Having to shift down there, do not want to go in that gravel trap. That is probably one of the worst gravel traps on the circuit because it's very easy to run wide, and actually we hit this gravel trap. Thankfully, we're safe because that was on the inside of a corner. Well, becoming the inside of a corner. So there was no wall to go flying into. Whoa, and that's big oversteer again. Like I said, it's pretty easy catchball though. That was not. I think we got a wheel on the exit there. Let's just have a quick look. I'm pretty sure we just get a wheel. Yeah, wheel over the curb, straight into the wall. Very loud sound effects for crashing. Maybe that needs toning down a bit, but. And that car, yeah, is a bit of a write-off. So that was F1 2015 Beta by Patrick34, version 0.01. Oh, look at that slide. We had the slide properly on there. Now I will actually play a replay of, I think, the fastest lap I've done, and I won't talk over that so you can hear the sounds. They are last year's sounds, but it's still nice to see and hear. So yeah, this mod has potential. I can't wait to see the next versions of it. I think it will be a good mod when it's finished, and it's also just more enjoyable watching a mod progress than just getting one at the end. You know, you feel more like involved in it. But yeah, so it's got the potential, and I'm looking forward to the next updates. So I shall see you next time.